Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and thank you again for joining me for another cleaning motivational. I am so glad you guys are here for this video. It is going to be a clean with me and also a Q&A. I had a subscriber ask if I'd ever done one, if I would like to do one, and I have never really done a Q&A, but I would love to do one for you guys. So I had asked on Instagram as well as on my community post on YouTube for questions, and I'm going to be answering them at the end of this video while doing some laundry. We're going to go ahead and start the cleaning off with cleaning my living room as well as my kitchen, and then we'll jump into a sit-down Q&A where I fold and put away laundry and just answer you guys' questions. If you like this kind of content, give it a big thumbs up, as well as considering to subscribe and joining my YouTube family. I hope you guys get to know me a little better, and I would love to get to know you guys more as well through the comments. So if you have anything that you relate to in this video, please drop it in the comments because I really love getting to know each and every one of you guys. My family on YouTube is really special to me, and I want to make sure that you guys feel close to me as much as I do when you guys comment when I put out the content for you guys. If you want to see more future uploads like this or just more cleaning in general, please remember to hit that bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's go ahead and jump into this mess. We're going to start in the living room.
I'm on the train headed back to Indiana. The rain is forming into rivers outside.
Trevor and I were helping Tennyson put the puzzles together, and I started to realize we were running out of puzzle pieces very quickly, and I was like, I think we're missing a whole bunch. And I finally found them, but I decided to go ahead and turn the sound up for this clip for you guys as a funny little haha we realized. I'm missing a lot of puzzle pieces.
Yeah, we are.
Oh.
Oh.
Wrong here. Oh wow, it fell through. I didn't realize there was a thing in there.
A slit?
Yeah, probably good for moisture purposes.
She does.
Okay, yeah. No, this is the. Yeah, she does. I'm confused.
No, wait.
I have pieces wrong.
These all these go together.
We were doing the same puzzle.
Yeah. Same puzzle, different angles.
Trevor and I ended up doing the same puzzle just on two different boards and found out that all the pieces that belonged to the other board were actually in with Tennyson's marker caddy. And I just thought it was kind of hilarious. Like, we were both just working diligently on our puzzles. And then I was like, I'm missing more than half my puzzle because he was doing it. I know it's probably not as funny to you guys, but I found it quite hilarious when we realized it.
Down all the things that I miss, and in the letters you take form. No, I won't go back tonight with a habit to the restless me. I'm leaving all that stuff behind. We can start all over in our hometown, running free. It could be everything that we were chasing. I'm impatient just to see how you make everything fall into place. How you make everything fall into place. You see, you make everything. I'm the first one to get off at the station. There's something in the air that I can't place. And now I see a silhouette in the dark. It's like time has stood still. I'm gonna hold you tighter this time around. Now feeling like I need to escape. The world outside only made me numb. 'Cause I just wanna be here in our hometown, running free. It could be everything that we were chasing. I'm impatient just to see how you make everything fall into place. How you make everything fall into place. You see, you make everything. It's just like the saying, you don't know what you got Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. What's wrong with them? I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. Before I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done. I'ma drink at this page. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy and you don't let. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? If I had an option to be someone else, I would, and let go of you. I know that I'm obvious, forget I'm made this way, but why didn't I stay when I had the chance? Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. Before I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done. I'ma drink at this pace. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy and you don't let. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? The only one that's left in the rain. The only one that's left in the rain. Am I the only one? 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 Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy and you don't let. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here. I know that I told you we're over, I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light?
leave tonight. We could do this right, we'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning? Would you stay till the morning light? Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right, we'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Till the morning light, till the morning light, till the morning light, yeah. Till the morning light, till the morning light, till the morning light, yeah. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me.
Let's just do what you want to. Please don't be polite, cause I like your attitude. Let's forget about a curfew, cause all that is stuck in my head is me and you. Both speed and my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna face it, cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next dimension. Let's just let our bodies be true. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end. For the thrill of it, we can have it, no regret. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end. For the thrill of it, we can have it, no regret. Let's live life without regrets. Girl, put your faith in me, even though we just met. Let's forget about a curfew, cause all that is stuck in my head is me and you. Both speed and my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna face it, cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next dimension. Let's just let our bodies be true. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end. For the thrill of it, we can have it, no regret.
I don't know about y'all, but I keep forgetting that Mrs. Meyers put on those safety seals on the inside of their soaps. I keep forgetting because it wasn't always there. But something I do want to ask, because I'm a little bewildered with what I found today. I forgot that it had it, so I was squeezing it, and when I took the top off, I realized that the surface of the seal had soap coming out of it. And I was like, how's there soap coming out of it if it's sealed? Well, then I started feeling around on it, and there's 2 pinpricks in the top of the seal. So I went to my pantry in the laundry room where I have 4 other ones, 2 without seals and 2 with seals. And the other 2 with seals also had 2 pinpricks into the top of the seal. Do you guys have those pinpricks as well when you buy the Mrs. Meyers dish soap? Because if not, I feel I should be a little worried that I have pinpricks in my soap.
I'm walking down the street on clouds instead of the concrete I'm dancing through. Everything's about to come my way. Nothing can ruin my day, no matter what anyone does or say. I smile at fools. No, I don't care, cause I am on my way up, and I won't stop, I won't slow down. Steady on my feet, I'm gonna rise up. No, I won't stop, it is my time. Cause I know what it's like to be broke.
I don't always show what products I am using when cleaning, but if you're ever curious, I do link everything down below. I have a Grove link where I get most of my cleaning products, and I also list everything that has been used in every video. So if you're ever curious what I'm using, please check the description box. I always list everything, including my vacuum, my mops, everything. So go ahead and check out the description box. And if you do want to try out Grove, I do have a link there that would help me out tremendously. I really like to share Grove with you guys. I've been enjoying getting my products sent to my house rather than having to run to the store, especially with the stores being out of so much. So if you ever want to check out Grove, definitely check out the link down in the description box. You can get a set of Mrs. Meyers for free as well when you sign up using my code.
So I'm gonna let myself enjoy the fruit from this lucky day. Yeah, I am on my way up, I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way up.
All right, y'all, we are coming to the end of the cleaning of this video when it comes to just the music and the simple cleaning, the regular clean with me's that I usually do. And we're going to go ahead and jump into folding laundry and answering the questions that you guys have asked throughout the about a week or so. I tried to pull as much as I could and answer as many as I could. So let's go ahead and jump into that. I hope that the first portion, if you're not interested in the Q&A, did motivate you and that you did like it. And if you want to stick around for the Q&A, I would really love to let you guys get to know me a little more. I'm going to answer as much as I can and as honestly as I possibly can.
Down. I'm strolling down the street with all of my favorite songs on repeat. I'm dancing through.
All right, y'all, we have made it to the Q&A portion of this video. I grabbed some laundry to put away. I have a little helper. I wrote down some questions that you guys answered or you guys asked. I had a few that were kind of repeat questions. So hopefully I got all the questions down that were needed to be answered. And I think I got 16 questions. So we're gonna try to get through the questions while I attempt to do laundry as I talk. I'm not good at multitasking that way. So I decided to start the Q&A with like the most frequently asked question, which was, do we want any more children? And the plan when me and Trevor talked about children before we even got married was like how many we wanted. I always said I wanted to have one child, and he said he always wanted to have two. And I was like, well, 2 is a great number. Like, I could see myself being a mom of 2. So I told him, like, I'm down to have 2 kids. And we ended up getting pregnant a year earlier than we had wanted to. And it was actually a great surprise. Like, I really enjoyed starting motherhood a year earlier than I planned. But now that I am turning 32, me and my husband, we're planning on having our second child in my early 30s when 10 turned 2. I planned on trying to start for baby number 2, but we ended up PCSing and moving to Utah, and then the pandemic happened. And I wasn't comfortable with wanting to get pregnant during a pandemic, having to go to ultrasounds for myself, having my husband not included because he was so included with Tennyson and her like process of my pregnancy and throughout her childhood. He's always been there. So I wanted to make sure that if I was going to get pregnant again, that he could be involved, because he's very much a person that likes to be involved in that stuff. So now that I'm turning 32, we've discussed it a few times about wanting to have more children, and we're both kind of on the same page that we think we're happy with having one child. My motto when I wanted to become a mom, and I always wanted to be a mom, that was like my dream, was to become a mom. I've always wanted to have children. And one thing I always said is like, if I can raise one amazing human, then I know I accomplished something great in my life. Like, I want to dedicate as much time as I can into Tennyson, raise her to be a well-rounded young lady, someone who's going to give back to the universe and like just be this amazing person. Like, I want to do that. And if I don't feel like I can stretch my time and my energy and my love to another child, then I just chose that I wasn't going to have another one. And with Tennyson, I am very wrapped up in her. I'm very dedicated to her education, to playing with her, loving her, trying to raise a very well-mannered and respectful child. And right now I don't see myself having a second child, and neither does my husband. He's happy with being a single child family at the moment. So it's not off the table, but at the same time, we've kind of already decided we are good with one child right now. So the answer is no as of right now. The second question that I got asked a lot, and I'm really terrible at this question because I've been asked this so many times and I'm terrible at it. How to start a YouTube channel. So for me, it was just, I watched a lot of YouTube videos of cleaning before I decided to start a channel. And then when I decided to start one, my brother-in-law had actually had a channel, or he still does. And I was like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Like, if he feels comfortable putting himself out there, maybe I can feel comfortable doing it too. So I talked to him a lot about it. He kind of helped me with some stuff. And I did a lot of research. I just watched a lot of YouTube videos on advice on how to start a channel. I watched like what programs I needed to edit, what like apps that I would need to create thumbnails, where I would get my music, what did monetizing mean, what did actually having a channel mean for me, like how much work would go into it. And you do all the research and they kind of don't tell you how much work goes into it because it actually is a lot of work. I was kind of just thinking it'd be like a nice little hobby to have, but it's actually become like a whole job and I enjoy it and I love it. But I do recommend, like, if you're going to start, do your research. Just make sure it's something that's fitting for you. And for me, I think I felt comfortable once I had some girls reach out to me after I started, and they have amazing YouTube channels now. Like, their channels have grown way past mine, and they're incredible at how they started their YouTube and how they've grown their channel. For me, I don't put as much work into growing my channel as I probably should. I don't work with my community very much. I don't promote my channel. I am not good with Instagram. I don't do a lot of day in the life vlogs. Like, I don't put my whole personal life out there. I just always wanted to start a channel and it be just cleaning. I just wanted to clean and put cleaning videos out. And that's kind of what I thought it was going to be. But then your channel kind of grows and you meet people and they're invested in your life and you're invested in them because they're invested in you. And it becomes like this whole family. So when you start a channel, just make sure you want to put the work in. If you're going to start, I suggest starting. Just do it. Like, I feel like if you hesitate and put it off and put it off and put it off, then I don't think you really want to do it. If you want to do it, just start. And if your videos don't take off right away, don't give up. It's all about consistency, reaching out to your community, just making sure that like your channel is going to go somewhere and put the work into it. And I feel like another thing too, what I've learned with YouTube is niching down. So when I first started, I knew I wanted to do cleaning videos, and I also was like, well, I want to do day in the life, so I want to involve this, I want to do that, I want to do like hauls and all this stuff. And I realized that my channel just wasn't getting the attention that it needed to be. So I just niched all the way down and I just put out cleaning videos. And that's when I started seeing growth on my channel. It was just finally, I was like, my channel is a cleaning channel. That's what you're going to get when you come to Tasha Lynn's channel. It's going to be cleaning. And once I did that, I feel like my channel started to take off a little bit. I really wish that it has grown a little more over the past 2 years, but overall, I can say that I am sufficiently happy with where my channel is for the simple fact that I never thought it would go anywhere. I thought it would be a cute little hobby to do, something to help me through what I was going through at the time, and just something for me to do when I wasn't working. I was always a working mom or a working person before I became a mom. And when I became a mom, I was like, I was lost. I didn't know what to do with all my time. I didn't know what to do with, I didn't know what to do. So I started YouTube. And I hope that's helpful. But definitely, I recently saw that Cambria from Living with Cambria has been putting out videos on YouTube information. So if you do want to look at her channel, I would definitely recommend going over there and checking out those videos. But there's so many people on YouTube that give out so much great information when it comes to starting a channel, running a channel, how to edit videos, everything. Like, you can find anything that you need to know about YouTube on YouTube. So I hope that's helpful. Someone said they have a studio apartment and they want to know how I would start the cleaning process of a studio apartment and like get it all done. So for me, when I imagine a studio apartment, I imagine like an open space and maybe like a closed off bedroom. So when I imagine that in my head and how I would personally start, I think that I would start with going to every single room, since it's not going to be like a huge 2-story house and running up and down stairs and stuff like that. You're in a studio apartment. I would take a trash bag and just start by just picking up all the trash and all the things that are no longer needed in every single space. And then once I got that done, I think I would make my bed. Honestly, make my bed, straighten up my room, then probably move on to my bathroom, get my counter straightened out, just wipe it down, clean my toilet, then move on to like your bigger space, which is like your living room and your kitchen. I always enjoy cleaning my kitchen first because it always seems to be the biggest task. And once I clean my kitchen, I feel like, okay, the living room's not gonna be that hard. So I like to start in the kitchen. So that's kind of how I would do it. Just pick up all your trash, make your bed. Making your bed will make it so much easier for you to continue your day because you're not gonna wanna crawl back into it. And I feel like it helps with starting a day. I don't make my bed every day. I wish I was that person, but I'm just not. And I feel like I'd be more motivated every single day if I did start my day off with instantly making my bed. So I do highly recommend that. Why did I start YouTube? I started YouTube because I was addicted to watching cleaning videos. Like, my addiction to cleaning videos started when I was pregnant and nesting. I found time-lapse nursery videos, like where they would decorate their whole nursery and stuff. That was like my addiction. And one day I was watching one and a suggested video came up, and it was a cleaning video of a pretty big YouTuber that I still follow today. And I saw her and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, how did I not know that cleaning videos existed? Like, I've needed this in my life for so long. Like, I love to clean. And watching someone clean is so satisfying. So I was like just watching them a lot, and while I was pregnant. And then after I had Tennyson, I kind of fell into a rut, and I didn't know how to explain it to people. I didn't know like what was going on with me internally. Like, I enjoyed being a mom. I enjoyed being a stay-at-home mom, but something just felt like it was missing. Something inside me just kind of felt sad. And I finally figured out that I was going through a little bit of postpartum depression, and I needed something. I didn't know what I needed, but I needed something. I needed to change something. So when I found out that my brother-in-law had started a YouTube channel and I was watching his videos, and I was like, this is really great. Like, what a great idea to be at home, do something at home. Like, I could start a channel cleaning my house, since I do it every day, all day, and why not just take a camera around with me and do it? And I presented the idea to my husband, and he thought it was a great idea. So I just did the research and reached out to a few people and just kind of asked for advice, just like y'all did with me. And I didn't really get very much information back from a lot of YouTubers, but once I started my channel, I started to notice a shift in like my motivation, in just my attitude in general, and my overall happiness got better. And I think a lot of that came from the fact that I've always been someone who works at least 1 job, 2 jobs. I was always working. And then to go from that and seeing people every day to being a mom of a newborn child, and like all the sparkle and glory of like, you become a mom and like all your friends want to see your baby, they want to come over, hang out, want to help you out, want to do things. That all faded away, and I became very lonely, and I just needed something. So once I started YouTube, I don't know, I had people commenting, I had people interested in things I had to say. I felt like I was working during the day, even though I wasn't leaving my house, and I was doing the same things I always was. But the work that goes into starting a channel and keeping up with it was very rewarding, and it made me feel like I was doing something. And then once I started monetizing and was making money and bringing in my own income, it made me feel like so good about myself. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like when you're somebody who works your entire life, like since the moment you could start working, you started working, and you've always had your own income, you've always done your own thing, you've always been very independent, to becoming a stay-at-home mom with zero income, I started to feel like a mooch. Like me and my husband are married, but I felt like a mooch. Like I would feel guilty for ordering things off of Amazon. I would feel guilty wanting to buy new clothes for myself. I hated the guilt that came with the not making my own income. So that was also one of the reasons why I wanted to start too, was to see if I could develop my own income and like just become a little bit more independent and have something to put myself into. So that's why I started. It was to help me get through postpartum depression, to find an outlet for myself, to also make my own income, whether it be something like pocket change to something that could be something that will help us in the long run. And right now I'm still in the small amounts of money making of YouTube, but every little tiny penny that I make just feels rewarding to me. Like I'm doing something to help myself feel better and to put money into a savings account. That's what I like doing with it. I was also asked, is it hard to have your personal life out there? I gotta say, it's not hard for me to have my personal life out there because I don't share that much with you guys. I keep my family very private for the most part. I share with you guys the little things, you know, but I try to respect my family because my family didn't want to start a YouTube channel. I did. So I feel like keeping their personal life is important to me and to them because it's not their channel. It's not for them. So I don't force putting out information on my family to people. I will say when I first started, it was very hard for me to put my messes out there. I got judged quite a bit. I had to grow a very tough skin and learn that there are some people out there who just want to be mean and just need to put you down because they can. And I finally learned how to block people. I learned to delete comments. I learned to not take things so personally because there were many times when I'd sit down to answer y'all's comments and there'd be like 3 or 4 comments in there that were just brutal and downright nasty. Like there was no point in leaving the comment. Like you could have just not watched the video. Like I even got a death threat on my family almost 2 years ago. It was right before we moved here. I got a death threat and I had to turn it into YouTube, and they contacted me, let me know that the channel or the person who left it and stuff, their stuff was canceled and removed and stuff. But sometimes it's very scary to know that there's people out there that aren't gonna like you, that aren't gonna enjoy your content, that are gonna say mean things. And I feel like you have to get to a point where you share what you feel comfortable sharing, which I don't share my address. I know you guys probably know my last name, but I don't just like promote my last name out there. Like it's there for you guys to see. I don't hide it. I used to hide it. And this past year I stopped hiding my last name. And, but for the longest time I was very scared. I have had a few subscribers try to friend me on Facebook, and it's not anything personal against any person that friends me on Facebook. It's the simple fact that my Facebook is personal. I share a lot of personal family things on there. We are military, so I keep in contact with a lot of family and put information out there to make sure that they're involved with our lives when we can't be there in person. So I will not, and probably never will, accept subscribers as friends on Facebook. I open my Instagram to you guys and I open YouTube to y'all. So I feel like that's enough for me of sharing my personal life. I feel like some things should stay as private, and Facebook is one of those things that I keep private. Now I do share a lot of my Instagram posts onto Facebook so everyone sees the same thing. And I share my YouTube onto my Facebook as well, but I try not to share too much of my personal because I feel like there needs to be a little part of me that still feels safe and unjudged, and just be able to have myself still outside of me being a YouTuber, because I'm a real person. I do have a life. I do have a dirty personality, like where I will share inappropriate memes. I will share funny, inappropriate videos on Facebook, and just, I don't want to be judged for my personality of thinking that my sense of humor is accepted by everybody. So I just try to keep that to myself. So with that being said, yes, it can be hard to have your personal life out there, but I just learned to grow thicker skin and not take things personally. And if I don't like what you have to say, I just kind of delete it. Like it, and I have in the past gotten into an argument in a video because the same person just kept coming at me and at me and at me, and I got fed up. And I just decided from that point on, if someone says something that upsets me, I'm not going to let it upset me anymore. I'm just going to move on from it, delete the comment, or just ignore the comment altogether. And that's just where I've gone with not letting people upset me about my personal life and what I do choose to share with you guys. I sometimes have the dirtiest house, but I clean it. That's what my channel is all about. It's real life. I want to be relatable to you guys. I want you guys to see the authentic me and understand that I am human. I do have feelings. This is my home and I'm welcoming you into it. And if you can't be respectful, then I just choose not to engage. Next question. This one has 3 questions in it. How did I meet my husband? How long were we together before we got married? And what branch is he in and what does he do? So let's start with his military career. My husband is active duty Air Force. He is a tech sergeant and he is ammo. The best way to describe that is he deals with missiles and the inventory of missiles and the placing them onto aircrafts. That's what he does. He has like a new job title now. I'm not really sure what it is. He just started it like 2 weeks ago. So I'm not even gonna bring that up because I don't even know how to describe it. I just don't. His job's a little different now at this base than it ever has been. Usually he's on bomb dumps, but now he works in an office and deals with missile inventory. So that's what he does. How did I meet my husband? So backstory, let's go back, I think 2013 is when I first met my husband. I believe it was 13. Yeah, I want to say 13 going on. I think it was April 2013 is when we first officially started, we met and started having a conversation and stuff. I think that's how far back it goes. So I was bartending in Shreveport, Louisiana. I absolutely loved bartending. And when downtown Shreveport, there are clubs and bars down there that I think they open at 6 p.m. and we stay open until 6 a.m. So I worked from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. or 10 to 6. That was my schedule. And everyone was known for it. They start club hopping and bar hopping in Bossier. And then once those bars closed at 2, they would jump on down to downtown and they'd come and party all night with us there. So, and we had the casinos and stuff too. So it was a very heavy trafficked place at the time. It's died down quite a bit, I feel like. But the bar I worked at was called Sandbar, and it was kind of like an arcade bar. There was lots of arcade games. We had a whole beer pong floor, typical darts and things like that. It was a pretty fun bar to work at. It was 3 floors, and the very bottom one was like a disco. What are they? I don't want to call it disco. That dates me so bad. Like a techno club. It was like a dancing club. The top 2 floors were arcade and beer pong. Actually, now I think about it, there's 4 floors. So it was a 4-story floor club, bar, what are you going to call it? And my husband was stationed at Barksdale at the time, and I'll tell the story from his point of view because that's not how I know it as, but him and his friend and his friend's girlfriend at the time came into Sandbar, and I was working at the upstairs bar, and he was walking up the stairs and he told his friend Chris, he saw me behind the bar working at my register, and he said, I'm going to marry that girl one day. And that's the story that him and his friend always tell me when I ask, how'd you know, you want to talk to me and date me and marry me? That's what they always said. And he said that one day he was going to marry me. Well, they became regulars at our bar, and they were known as the toddlers because they would come in, they'd play all the games, they'd do all this stuff, they'd drink quite a bit, but they were always such a good, fun time. My husband is so charismatic. He's goofy. He's got just this personality that lights up a room. You want to be his friend. And he would always ask me for my phone number, and I always said no. I didn't give my phone number out to customers. And one day I was just like, you know what? I like you, Trevor. I'll give you my phone number. And we became friends, and we'd go out on my days off, and we'd play pool together and just kind of hang out. And we just became really good friends. And he ended up deploying I ended up dating someone during that time, and he ended up deploying with my boyfriend at the time. They all went together to Guam, and while he was over in Guam, my relationship fell apart, and me and him just kind of texted a lot, still being friends. Like, our friendship never changed. And when he came home, we kind of started hanging out differently. Like, we weren't just friends anymore. We kind of started hanging out more. I realized that he liked me, I liked him, and it kind of went on and off for a while. And then finally, officially, he took me home to Tennessee to meet his parents and to go home for a wedding. And that's when he asked me to like be his girlfriend. And I think that was in end of 2014, I believe. Yeah, I think it was at the end of 2014. He asked me to be, either that or 15, beginning of 15. He asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes. And then we kind of dated throughout that time. We ended up moving in together, and he ended up deploying again to Guam and gone for 6 months. He ended up flying me to Guam, and he took me on this very strenuous hike through like the forest jungle thing there. We went into like an underwater cave. He took me up to like the tallest peak there, and like it overlooked like the ocean. It was stunning, and it was his favorite place on the whole island, and he proposed to me, and I said yes. And then he came back, and we had planned to get married September 3rd of 2016, but in the process of us planning our wedding, we got a notice that he would be deploying to Qatar. So we pushed our wedding 6 months forward and ended up getting married March 12th of 2016. Our anniversary is coming up very soon. And so we ended up getting married then, and within like a week or two after we got married, he deployed for another 6 months to Qatar. And now, how long have we been married? This month, it'll be 5 years. So we were friends for about 6 months to a year, dated for a year and a half, and then we got married. We've been married for 5 years. So that's kind of like the length of our relationship. It's been a roller coaster, and I'm so glad that as of lately, deployments have stopped. He hasn't deployed. He goes TDY often, but deployments haven't been a thing for a while. That's been really great because of the whole beginning of our marriage and he went to Qatar twice when we were married. He went to Guam twice when we were dating. And then he's gone to England twice. So it's a lot to have to deal with when he's gone all the time, but overall I feel like it made us stronger. If I wasn't doing YouTube, what other job or roles do I see myself doing? I think if I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd probably just be a stay-at-home mom, because it was something that me and my husband decided. Now, we always talked about when Tennyson starts kindergarten and going to school and stuff, like I would like to get a job, at least a part-time job. And my background of working has always been, I was a maid for a while, I bartended, I was a waitress. My favorite job I ever had, the both times I had it, was being a secretary at a law office. I actually enjoy working at a law office. I am addicted to like the law. I like to read about it, I like to learn about it, I like to hear about cases. I find it really intriguing, so I would love to be in that career field. And I always wanted to be a paralegal because my mom was, and I thought it was really fascinating. But I feel like this late in my life, I'm not really even sure what my career would be at this point. So I really don't know. I enjoy YouTube, and if YouTube doesn't really go anywhere and I choose to not continue it, I think I would just still be a stay-at-home mom. And I don't know, I've always wanted to be that mom that could drop my kid off at school, pick them up from school, be home to give them snacks, help with their homework. I've always just wanted to be a very dedicated mom, because my mom was active duty military as well. And when you're military, it's service before family. So you got to take care of your job before you take care of your family, and you have to dedicate your time to the service. So my mom was always very busy. She worked a lot, and she'd even work late. So I just remember always wanting to be like some of my friends who had moms that were always there. So I want to be that for Tennyson. But yeah, I think I'd want to do something in the law area if I could choose to go to school and do something. I think that's definitely what I would want to do. How many years have I been married? 5. How old is Tennyson? She turns 3 April 20th. How many floors are in my house? I have a 2-story house. I wish I had a 1. I am so tired of stairs. I can't wait to live in a house that's like a ranch house. Like, it's just flat. Like, I can just walk the whole thing. not have to climb stairs. I dread stairs constantly, and my stairs become a drop zone for everything that's downstairs that needs to come upstairs. So I have 2 floors, wish I had 1. How did I come up with Tennyson's name? Okay, this is funny. Not really funny, but people are like, oh, that's weird. So I'm addicted to law. I'm addicted to crime shows, very much addicted to watching the ID channel. I was watching a show one day on the ID channel, and it was a girl. She was blow drying her hair. Her mom was blow drying her hair or something, and someone broke into their house, and she ended up like surviving. She kicked this intruder's butt. I don't know, she just was like a really strong female, and her name ended up being Tennyson Page. And I was like, oh, I love that name, Tennyson. So I put it in my notes. I've always had a note in my phone of all baby names that I've came across, or just people's names that I've enjoyed, whether it be first names, middle names, boys' names, girls' names. I didn't care. If I liked the name the way it sounded, I wrote it in my list. That name stayed in my list for, I want to say 8 to 10 years. It's been on my list. And I always knew that it was one of my top names. When we were originally talking about naming Tennyson, we knew that we wanted either Tennyson or Olivia. And then the middle names would be Tennyson Bell. Bell is my grandma's middle name, my Mimi. She's the most precious person to me in the entire world. So I knew I really wanted to try to use that middle name. And if we chose Olivia, we were going to do Olivia Quinn. But my husband didn't really like Olivia Quinn as much as I did, because it reminded him of Oliver Queen. So we went with Tennyson Bell. And another reason why I went with Tennyson is because my in-laws were like, y'all should do a T name because you guys are all T's. Everyone always forgetting that I'm not a T. I'm an N. My name is actually Natasha, but I go by Tasha. So my name isn't actually a T. But our hashtag and things for our wedding was TNT. So they just thought it'd be cute to have another T name. And I absolutely love it. Tennyson has always been one of my favorite names. And when I gave birth to her, the lady that delivered her actually asked me what I planned to name her. And I was like, well, her name's gonna be Tennyson Bell. And she was like, oh, Tennyson, after the poet, the royal poet. And I was like, what? So I had to go Google it, and I was like, oh wow, it's a boy's name and he's a famous poet. And I haven't read any of his stuff, but I think it's pretty cool that it is a historically known male name, and it does have a royalty background to it. So I got her name from the ID channel. What is something on your bucket list? I have a few things that I've always wanted to do. One is to feed sharks. I used to say I want to do it outside of a cage, but now that I'm in my 30s and I'm a mom, I want to be in a cage. But I've always wanted to swim with great whites and feed them and just be in their environment and see them up close, because I find sharks to be so fascinating. And then I've always said that I wanted to ride an elephant bareback in Thailand. That was just always one of those things I've always wanted to do. And I don't know if I'll ever get to do it, but it just sounds like an incredible thing to do. I have an extreme love and admiration for elephants. I think they are amazing creatures. Same thing with sharks. Those two are just amazing to me. So my bucket list would be to ride bareback on an elephant in Thailand, and then swim in the ocean and feed great white sharks. That would be pretty awesome. This is a question for, I'm just going to answer it because I don't really remember the question very much, but Apple Crafts Fine Yarn asked me if I ever lived in Nashville, Tennessee because I look like someone she knows. And the answer is no. I have never lived in Nashville, Tennessee, but I have visited because my husband is from Tennessee, and we went there for a weekend and had some fun. I love Nashville. It's an amazing place to go. I think it's filled with so much character. What has helped me grow on YouTube? I would say what helped me grow in the beginning when I first started was putting in the work, being consistent, and putting out your videos on a regular basis. If you want to do one video a week, make sure you put it out on the same day that week. It becomes a consistent thing, and people remember when you're going to put a video out. They look forward to those things. I think that really helped me grow, is finding my consistency, niching down and making my channel what it was, and not have a bunch of random things all over my channel that confuse people. Because I feel like if someone wants to come watch cleaning videos and they see that you make them, and then you come out the next week with, I don't know, a makeup tutorial or this or that, I just feel like it becomes very confusing for people. So I feel like niching down really helped me to grow my channel. Being consistent really helped. And then I noticed when I first started, I grew a lot faster when I was reaching out to my community. So when I would find someone who put out a YouTube video that only had like 100 subscribers or even less than 1,000, you reach out and you just kind of say, hey, loved your video, good luck with your channel, really enjoyed your content, whatever. Like you just leave a comment and they notice your channel, and then you guys kind of just grow off of each other, and you do that throughout your whole community, and that really helps to grow a channel. And I think self-promoting your channel as well, like talking to your community in your community posts, which I don't believe you get your community posts for a while. You have to hit a certain goal to even get the community tab. So reaching out to your community through like Instagram, promoting your channel there, creating stories, just doing all the stuff you can to promote your videos, put your life out there, put your channel out there, and just like push. That's what's going to help grow your channel. And that's what I've noticed. But I personally have slacked very much in that department. And I think that's why my channel has kind of been at a standstill for a while. I recently hit 13K, which is a great goal for me, but I wanted by this past July to be at 15K and wanted to be around 20K by about this time. So I'm not growing as fast as I want to, and that's on me. I'm not promoting my channel as well as I should, but I think if I went out and did that more, I would see a lot more growth. So definitely promote your channel, be consistent. And I think a lot too that really helps me with where I've gotten with my channel is I'm like my honest, authentic, real self. Like I try really hard to be my true self in front of you guys. Like I don't hide my messes. I don't edit things out that are going to be embarrassing. Like I try my best to just put it out there, see what you guys like, and just be myself. Like I feel like that's why you guys are here in the first place, is to find relatable people that you can relate to and get the motivation from, because not all of us are perfect. I don't have a magazine ready home. I don't have the nicest home. I do have a very messy house. I do sometimes slack off and don't get motivated. I like to show that to you guys. So I feel like being that real person you can be and putting out content that people can relate to is also going to help grow your channel. How do I stay motivated to keep my house clean? This is a hard one for me because I'm not always the most motivated. For me, I have learned that I have to put a strict structure on. So every morning I get up, I get my daughter her breakfast, get her drinks, I sit her down at the table, and judge me if you will, I turn a phone on, throw on a Disney movie, or I throw on some learning videos for her on YouTube, and she sits there while I unload the dishwasher, I clean up the counters, and I get something out for dinner and start my coffee. And that's the first thing I do in the morning. And then after that, when she's done with breakfast and stuff, we head into the living room and we clean up the living room, and I vacuum my laundry room, my main walk area, and then I'll do the living room. And that's what I do first thing in the morning. That way that's done. And I don't have to worry about it the rest of the day. And after that, I just focus on giving Tennyson as much attention as she needs before lunchtime and nap time. And then during nap time, I either choose to read a book, I'll catch up on a show, or I'll tackle a task that needs to be done. Like if I have a task that really needs to be done, I'll tackle it. And that's kind of how I do my week to keep myself motivated. I keep little tasks there and ready for me to do so that they don't all just pile up on me and I'm stuck, feeling like I don't know where to start. My house is a mess, there's this and that. I tackle the same main rooms every single day. That way when the time comes, I need to clean the kids' room, I need to do a bunch of laundry, I need to organize the laundry room, or I need to do this. The list goes on and on when you're trying to keep a home clean and organized. So I feel like when you tackle your main areas throughout the week and you have the time on the weekends to really tackle those jobs that will help you to keep your home organized and clean, that's when you do those. And that's when I take you guys along with me. I do most of my big cleaning on the weekends and I take y'all with me. And then during the week, I just do my small jobs. I just maintain my home, because I feel like if I can give 20 minutes to my living room every morning, it's better than nothing. So just take the time to tackle something, even if it's something small. And getting motivated, I feel like comes from the inner you. You got to find that motivation yourself, whether you watch a video, whether you talk yourself up, whether you give yourself, I'm going to tackle this one task. I'm going to pick up all the toys that the kids took out of their bins, and I'm going to do it in 10 minutes. And when that 10-minute mark hits, if I still feel motivated to continue picking up those toys and I haven't finished it, then I'll do it. If not, stop. Take a break. Do something else that you need to do. If you need to sit on the couch, take a break, or you need to read something, or you need to do some work, or you need to send an email, or you need to attend to the kids, get them snacks, do whatever, do that. And then when you find that you have a moment away from your children and they're content, start another timer for 10 minutes and tackle another task. That's how I used to do it whenever I felt overwhelmed with Tennyson. I would just like set timers and I would tackle things, and like it became a game for me. Like I could do this in 10 minutes. Or I used to do power hours all the time, like trying as much as I could in an hour. And it was so much fun, especially during nap times. Like I was amazed at what I could tackle in an hour when I dedicated that 1 hour to just tackling what I needed to get done that day. So I hope that's helpful. For me, motivation, I feel like you gotta find it. You gotta find the want and the will to do it. And if you can't get motivated, just try like 10-minute intervals. And I guarantee once you get started, that motivation kind of just spirals and you want to tackle more and you want to do more and you find yourself doing it. The last question is, where am I originally from? This question is so hard for me to answer, and I feel like the reason why is because I am a military brat. I was born in Clovis, New Mexico, and my mom was active duty Air Force for 20 years. So my entire childhood pretty much was consistent of moving every 1 to 3 years. So I have lived in 11 different places, including Japan, Washington, Ohio. I spent a lot of time in Ohio and Washington. I did half of high school in Washington, half of high school in Ohio. I also lived in Missouri, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana for an entire decade. Hawaii. We lived in Hawaii for a little while, for a few months, because my brother got sick and we had to be there. And oh man, I can't remember all the states I've lived in. I'm not sure there's many, but we've lived quite a bit of places. And then now I claim home as Louisiana because I spent an entire decade there, and that's the longest I spent anywhere, and it's where I just kind of put roots down. I have lots of friends there, so that's kind of like my home. But originally I was born in New Mexico and moved around a lot, and I ended up claiming Louisiana, and now we live in Utah. So I hope that kind of helps you guys get to know me a little more. I hope I answered these questions as honestly and openly as I could, and I hope that they were informative. And if you guys ever want to know more things, feel free to ask in the comments, and I can always just throw a question into a video and answer it, or I can just answer in the comments. Feel free to always be open to wanting to communicate with me. I love communicating with you guys, and I really hope that you enjoyed this Q&A, and if you did, I can definitely do more in the future with more variety of questions. I like to share with you guys because I know that you guys love to share with me as well, and I love to get to know you guys as much as you guys are willing to let me get to know you. So I want to say thank you again for supporting my channel. Thank you for asking so many great questions. And again, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys next week, and I hope that your weekend is amazing.